Hello everyone. So recently I got asked what books I read and what online resources I took a look at to get better at programming, and I thought I'd share them with you today. So yeah, I'll be splitting this video up into two sections. In the first section I'll be talking about books that are programming language agnostic, meaning that you gain value from them independent of what language you're writing your code in. And in the second section we'll be talking about books that are C++ specific, since that's kind of my domain. So yeah, let's get started. So the first book or resource I'd like to recommend to you is about Git. So online there's this book called the Pro Git book, or you could also read through this short book from O'Reilly. It's just called Git, and yeah, like being competent with Git and knowing the internals of Git is super useful, because most programmers only understood Git on like a surface level. They understand what a commit is, they understand what a branch is, what merging means, how you pull stuff from a remote repo and stuff. But like once you understand Git beyond the surface level and you understand what's happening inside of this .git folder, you gain so much value from that. Once Git throws error messages at you, you understand what they mean. You don't have to copy paste that into Chrome or ChatGPT to understand that. And yeah, like being competent with Git is like super useful, because it's like Git is used everywhere in the industry, right? It's like the version control system. So yeah, just understanding that will like benefit you, like independent of what language you're writing your code in, because to manage a project you're always using Git or some kind of VCS, right? So yeah, the next book I'd like to recommend is about operating systems. This book is super great. I read it through 2 times until chapter 32, and I gained so much off of it. So it's called Operating Systems, 3 Easy Pieces. And this book teaches you how your operating system operates. So it teaches you what happens once you start a program. It teaches you the internals of a program, how your operating system schedules your program to still be safe while executing them. And yeah, you'll understand a lot of concepts. For example, you know what a transaction look-aside buffer is. You know how virtual memory works and what's the difference between virtual and physical memory. You'll understand how your program is set up, what the stack is, what the heap is. Like all of these things are applicable to whenever you're writing code, because then you understand what happens once your program is run. And understanding that is like super useful, because once you're starting your program, you don't have this black box. You're not like okay, my operating system just runs it, but you actually understand what's happening. And yeah, that's just super useful. Okay, so the next book I'd like to show you is this one, Design Patterns, Elements of Reusable Object-Oriented Software. A lot of people don't like object-oriented programming, and if you're writing your code in C or something like that, this book probably won't be beneficial for you. But if you're writing code in a language like Java, C#, C++, or even JavaScript or Python, you'll gain something out of this. So this book teaches you all of the core design patterns that you'll encounter in the industry. So things like singletons, the builder pattern, the visitor pattern, stuff like that you'll be introduced to in this in this book. And yeah, well, for you to be a competent object-oriented programmer, you have to understand some design patterns, since you'll always encounter them in large code bases, independent of whether or not you think they're good or bad. For example, a lot of people despise the singleton pattern, and I say that that's a valid critique, but whether or not you like them, you'll be encountering them, so you'll have to be competent about them, right? So getting this book like teaches you about all of these design patterns and when you might need them, when you might use them, or when it's unnecessary to abstract. And yeah, it's just a great book to have and to like have once read through. Now, the last two books I'd like to recommend that are programming language agnostic are Clean Code and The Clean Coder. Yeah, these books are pretty controversial. Okay, it's a programming language book, like, it's not that controversial, but you know what I mean. Like, a lot of people have a lot of critique towards them since they're kind of extreme. So basically, what this book teaches you is how to write clean code and what patterns you should try to avoid to just write better code. And they teach a lot of important concepts. For example, the single responsibility concept, or how you should name things, how you should handle errors, how important testing is, and how you should do it. Like, this book, especially for beginners, it like directs them into the right direction. However, there are some takes in there that are pretty extreme. For example, well, I'm not sure anymore, but I believe the guy talked about functions only being able to to be 20 lines long, and if you exceed that, your code is unclean. And any programmer knows that that's a bit silly to say, because that's not applicable to to every program, you know. And also, you don't have to restrict yourself at line count. How did he figure out it was 20 lines and not 21 or 19? He didn't do some kind of formula, you know. So there are some takes in there that are a bit silly in my opinion. However, still, a lot of the core principle this book teaches, for example, don't repeat yourself, or the solid acronym and stuff like that, they are useful and they are applicable to your programs. And especially when you're new to writing code and to architecting stuff, this book gives you a very good direction to move towards, you know. You'll have to figure out your own coding style and some caveats that you do differently, but still, this book, it promotes you to the right direction. But you just have to look at it a bit critically once there are some outrageous takes, you know. And you have to make some research on your own here and there. But still, it's a pretty good book. So I'd recommend it to anyone trying to get better at programming. Okay, so now that I've shown you the books that are programming language agnostic, I'd like to move on to the ones that are C++ specific. And yeah, the first book I'd like to recommend is this one, C++ 17 in detail. Or really any book that covers one C++ version in great detail. Because a lot of C++ devs, they don't have this mental model of what C++ version added what. If you take a look at the mock interviews that Coding Jesus does, for example, he often asks people, yeah, what's your favorite edition of C++ 20 or C++ 14 or something? And they'll always be like, yeah, I don't know. And I feel like that's an indication of whether or not you're a competent C++ dev or not. Because if you have this mental model about your C++ versions, it just makes you seem more competent, and it makes you aware of the history and development of C++. And yeah, the C++ 17 in specific, it has a lot of very, very, very useful C++ features. For example, std optional, std variant, std any for the STL containers, but also they removed stuff. For example, they removed the register keyword, for example, or what else did they do? They removed trigaps, I believe, as well. There are stuffs that C++ 17 did that you can be aware about, and that just makes you seem more familiar with C++, you know. And yeah, being competent about C++ versions is just very important in general. So the next book I'd like to recommend is this one, Beautiful C++. So I've talked about clean code, and Beautiful C++ is the clean code version for C++ specific, without the outrageous takes. And yeah, it just shows you 30 core guidelines for how you write clean and safe C++ code. And yeah, the guy that wrote the book is very competent. You can like immediately tell it by reading it, and the things he teaches and preaches is just great, and things that well can be considered idiomatic C++ code. So yeah, reading this book will make you just a better C++ programmer, since you'll know how to write code that is well modular, clean looking, and like C++. We all know C++ has its details that make it weird, and this book just shows you how you can deal with them, and also make them your advantage, you know, when writing your programs. Okay, now the last book I'd like to recommend, or the last physical copy that I have, is this one, Daily C++ Interview. This book is great. It basically, the way this book is structured, you get a question about C++ each day, and you'll just answer it mentally, and then you'll read through the page and show whether you're wrong and right, and just update your understanding of some C++ concepts. And this, like, it goes through everything. It goes through inheritance, I don't know, STL container stuff, like just everything about C++. So it doesn't like constrain itself to one topic specifically. And yeah, these are the kinds of questions that you receive from like these firms that want to check your C++ understanding, you know. So yeah, we can take a look at a random page. Question 29: How to use the equal delete specifier in C++? That's an example of that. For example, when you want to delete your copy constructor or move constructor, move assignment operator. So then it goes on to explaining that in there. And yeah, this book just in general it has a lot of niche C++ features. So the equal delete specifier, like, that's not niche. We all know that. But like there are some problems in there, or C++ specific well, alterations that are very useful to know about. And yeah, now that's pretty much done with the physical copies. I'd still like to recommend two online ones. The first one is LearnCpp.com. This just teaches you all of the basics about C++ and just programming in general. So what an if statement is, what a for loop is, what a while loop is, all these basic control structures. And yeah, reading this book or this online resource is super useful. Well, it just teaches you everything about C++ that you have to know. And yeah, secondly, I guess I'd also recommend getcracked.io from Coding Jesus, because well, I did a lot of problems on there, and like just doing the problems on their own, I feel like isn't enough. You have to do the problems for the language knowledge ones, and when you get them right, but it wasn't that obvious to you, you still have to do your research. So you get them right, okay, that's fine, but like do your research, just understand why that is right. Or if you get something wrong, you do the exact same thing. You're not like, okay, now I see the result of that question, okay, I'm fine with that. You shouldn't be like that. You should be like, okay, why was that wrong, what I said? Why did I think that? What was wrong with my mental model about C++? What do I have to like change up in my mind, you know? Like you gotta go deeper into the topic. And like one last thing about just getting better at programming, I feel like a lot of people are procrastinating when it comes to programming, because they're like, yeah, I have to read all these books and I have to watch these YouTube videos that recommend resources for getting better at programming, but they're doing all of that except for like actually programming and getting better at programming. So yeah, I guess the main thing you just have to do to get better at programming is just write code. You just have to work on projects and do stuff. Like the projects don't have to be meaningful. You could do a Sudoku app or something, but if you understand what you're using, the control structures, all of the flow of things, or how to write code just in general, like that is more valuable than any book I recommended today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like the video and are just in general into C++ and stuff like that, make sure to leave a subscribe and a like on the video. And yeah, bye bye.